Hello. Okay. So with the end of the 2025 four season, you know, EDG winning, people, I don't know, people kind of doubted. I've said China would be surprising people. Yeah, I definitely believe that. I mean, especially after like their performance, like against teams like PaperX and like the group stage overall was like very good. The only team that they really lost to was G2 when they were playing good. But then like when playoffs like started, like they really just like they really just took off. Um, but yeah, so with the 2024 season, I honestly thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna change the format quite a bit just because it felt very bad. Like the format overall felt very bad. It felt like nobody really had time to take a break. It felt like the off season was really long, and overall it didn't feel good. It felt very like the pace felt very bad and times and everything. So yeah, today we're gonna be watching a video of the 2025 format to see what they changed because I actually haven't seen this yet. I watched the finals, but that's it. So yeah, I don't know. I did see the new cities. It was gonna be Bangkok,
And I'm Anna. As we gear up for the grand
Toronto,
finale of the
and
2024
France, right?
season,
And
I
France.
wanted to take a moment to talk about what's coming next in the VCT. We have
This
got
year
a
was
lot in
this
store,
year was
so
good
let's
though.
dive right in. First up, right after champions, the best challenger teams from
Oh
around
yeah,
the world
Ascension. I forgot
will
about that.
compete in Ascension, fighting for a spot in the international leagues. These teams will expand each IL from 11 to 12 teams and have a chance to defend their spot at the end of the next season.
Let's go.
In
12
October,
teams instead of 11.
challengers will be back up with more competition,
Wow,
bridging the gap
October's
between the
okay.
2024 and 2025 seasons.
I haven't really
Also,
been
starting
keeping up
next
with
year,
tier two,
partner teams will
like
be
in
able to
terms of
run academy
Americas
teams and
and
challengers.
EMEA
Academy teams will
and
be
China.
eligible to
I've really only
participate in
been watching like
Ascension,
Pacific.
but we hope this change will better support team
So
development.
okay, academy teams. I mean, League has seen it. They aren't gonna be able. Academy teams is pretty much just teams. It's like a tier two team for that tier one orgs have, but it's literally just to foster talent. Like they're saying, it's like if you find like an upcoming like person that could be insane, like you just pick him up, put him in your academy team, and see how he deals with it, and if he ends up being really good, or if what if like he ends up being good, or he can even take a like top spot, and if he's not that good, and even like and if he's not that good, then you kind of have like you kind of aware like okay, maybe like you can try him out, right? You can experience with him. It's something that league does, and also sometimes can even take the place of like the six man. So instead of having a six man, like let's say your main duelist gets injured, you get the main duelist from your academy team. um
Open in
so
the
yeah.
VCT. The four Ascension teams and over 40 pros coming up from challengers this year added fresh blood
The
and new
what's it called?
spirits to our sport, including
I don't
two
know.
teams qualifying to Masters Shanghai. We are very encouraged by these
um
results and hope
the
to continue seeing that trend
the
in 2025.
what's it called? The tier two teams from this year really didn't feel too good. It feels like okay, it really does feel like the major gap between tier two, like EMEA, Pacific, and China, like the gap between tier two and tier one is like really big, and you can definitely tell that tier one is really the top. Tier two, tier Americas though, with G two had the guard, right? It was pretty much just the core of the guard, and the guard was like a team that had already proven that they could play tier with like the tier one teams, right? They played against Sentinels, Optic even, and those teams. So you knew they had the capability, and then there's also teams like M80 still, TSM, who are coming back up, right? So there's a lot of different teams like showing up that in Americas tier two can compete with tier one in a pretty good level, while like other regions are not really capable of doing that so
Including
far.
two teams
But
qualifying to
it might
Masters
change.
Shanghai.
I don't know.
We are very encouraged by these results and hope to continue seeing that trend in 2025.
The off-season returns with an incredible slate of tournaments, including show matches, open bracket events, influencer tournaments, and invitationals. Some fan favorite events are going to return, including the Red Bull Homeground, Ludwig and Tarek, and Spike Nations. We're excited to see the community coming together, teams testing out new rosters, and playing in unique types of competition. Finally, in November, we'll close out the year with Game Changers Championship at the new Riot Games Arena in Berlin. Once again, crowning the best GC team in the world. We're expanding the tournament from 8 to 10 teams, giving more players the opportunity to be seen and showcase what they're capable of. Now let's look ahead to 2025. We're very excited to bring our global events to 3 new locations next year. The first Masters of the year, happening in February, is coming to Southeast Asia in Bangkok. From there, we'll cross the Pacific and bring the VCT to the east coast of North America this time with Masters Toronto in June. And last but not least, we're thrilled to share
So,
that we'll close out the season in the
time
same
zones
place,
aren't gonna be that bad for me.
Paris.
We
We thank you for
yeah.
always showing up, bringing up the energy, and making
For
these
the people
events
that lived in the
such
US
special
or
events.
even EMEA,
Alright,
time
with our
the
events
time
locked
zones
in,
are horrible.
let's talk about the shape of the season.
So, but except for Bangkok. But I don't know. At the same time, I also really love a lot more
number of changes that will make our sport more
like
competitive.
Asian
We're excited
countries.
to
So
watch. The first big change is that we're expanding the calendar. The season will now run from January to October, better
okay,
aligning
yeah,
the game with the sport,
that's big.
shortening the off season,
That's
giving
big.
teams more time to rest and prepare
That's
between
big.
competitions. To keep the stakes high throughout the year, every competition we will award teams with championship points.
That's like a
that will
whole
strengthen
2
the
months
bid
plus
for
of like
champions.
competition.
We're reworking the system to better distribute
I'm
points
sure there's
throughout
gonna
the
be more
season
breaks.
and better reward teams for competing in Masters.
Ooh. All right, my recording cut off, but like I said, that's still big. That's really big. Because last year, this year, one of the main problems was Team Heretics, for example, is a pretty good example, or even, yeah, I think Team Heretics is probably gonna be the best example. They made it to top 3, top 4, top 2, top 3, top 4 in Madrid, top 3, top 2 in Shanghai, and then, but even like they got nothing out of those internationals. Like sure they had like we got second, but they like statistically they got nothing from those tournaments. Like those tournaments they got nothing. It was just like pretty much a waste of time in like long term. And that's like so bad. So them rewarding that like play at least teams that come like top 2, top 3 even will be a really big change.
To get the season started, the kickoff tournament returns in January, now with the new format. 12 teams will compete in a straight double elimination bracket, with the top 2 teams
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like this. I like this. I like this more than the groups.
qualifying for Masters Bangkok.
And what I'm seeing here
Elimination bracket.
is I'm guessing the four teams that went to champs are gonna beat the 4 teams here, right? Now, the question is, are they gonna do the seeding based on the seeding that they went into champs or the seeding in which they finished the champs? Because if so, then Sentinels would technically be here, but if not, then Sentinels would be here, which would be big because it would be Lev versus Sen. If they both win here, it would be Sen versus Lev. So, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna do based on placements. I think so. I think it's gonna be Lev, Sen, G2, and then G2, and then who was the fourth Americas team? I forgot who
With
the
the
fourth
top 2
Americas team
teams
was.
qualifying for Masters Bangkok. From there, Stage 1 will qualify the top 3 teams from each league to Masters Toronto.
Was it? Who was the fourth Americas team? G2. Okay, wait. G2 Sentinels. Oh, Crew.
Action will
Yeah,
continue in
Crew's
Stage 2,
Crew.
which will no longer carry over records from Stage 1, and will qualify teams for the final playoffs of the season. Playoffs will expand
Wait,
from
that's big
6
as
to
well.
8.
That's also big. That's also really big. Not like, because like sure, it kind of makes sense, right? Because it kind of benefits people that played well in Stage 1, but at the same time, it's very bad because like let's say like it gives very little chance for a team that did bad to come back, right? Even though they built like even though they start playing really well again, right? So
8 teams which will keep more teams in contention for a longer
This is
period
good.
of time and give teams more chances to qualify for global events.
8 teams though in
And
playoff.
finally,
That's like, dude. There's 12 teams. 8 teams is like 3. Bro, nah, that is crazy. No.
To close out the season, the top teams from Stage 2 playoffs and the top teams with the most championship points will qualify for Champions Paris, where we will crown the best Valorant team in the world.
It's been incredible to see the growth of the VCT over the past 4 years. Your passion and your support has helped turn Valorant into a living, breathing sport, and we're still just getting started. Next year, we'll celebrate an important milestone, the 5th anniversary of Valorant. And I want to reinforce our commitment to continuing to build this amazing sport for years to come.
I hope they use Switch
Looking
next year for
into the
champs.
future, 2026, we'll bring champions to China, and in 2027, back to the Americas.
Right.
Live events are magical. And
When are we
look
going
forward
back to Japan?
continuing bringing them to
When are we
players
going back to
all over
Japan?
the world. We're also committed to continuing to integrate the VCT into the game itself. Last year, we introduced Premier, which
It's kind of
continues
perfect,
to
no?
evolve.
EDG wins, a Chinese team wins, and then next year champs is gonna be in China.
And this year has promoted more than 40 teams into challengers, creating a starting point to Valorant's Path to Pro that's available to players everywhere. We've also launched the Esports Hub, which we'll continue to build and add on to with experiences like Pick'ems, which launched for Champions this year. And then lastly, we're very thankful for the support you've shown for Team Capsules. The collection was a big bet for us this year, a way for you to
It's gonna be
support your
classics
favorite
then, right?
teams and rep them in game. Next year, you can expect a refresh of the classic skins, as well as a brand new capsule, kind of like what we did with the 2023 lock-in bundle.
That's it, folks. 2025 promises to be a truly incredible.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. Wait, and next year they're starting relegations, I think. I'm pretty sure the teams that come to Ascension, that came from Ascension, if they don't make it to champs or something like that, they get relegated, I think, right? So yeah.
Incredible year. We'll have a longer season, more teams in our leagues, a new format, new skins, events in new locations around the world, and of course, the celebration of Valorant's 5th anniversary.
Thank you for your support, your passion, and for making Valorant the amazing game that it is. Let's get hyped for Champions Grand Finals and crown the 2024 Valorant World Champion. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
W. Yeah, the changes were good. I like the changes. Seems like it's gonna be a big improvement from this year. And this year was already good. With Madrid, Shanghai, and champs felt like the best of its kind tournament. You know, like, I mean, Sentinels versus Gen G finals like in Madrid wasn't hype. Shanghai was Gen G versus Heretics, and then this year it was EDG, first Chinese team, and then Team Heretics kind of redemption from Shanghai. It's like it was insane. This year was so good, and I'm just really excited for next year. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.